that. They living, but they never growing. Come on now. The scripture says they forever learning, but never coming to the knowledge of the truth. Right. People that don't grow are retarded. I think in the church you got a whole lot of religious retarded folks. Been in the church a long time, but they don't ever grow. Ain't doing nothing for them. They never get better. They never learn. They never improve. They don't accept correction. They don't accept instruction. And they don't even want to be inspired. They're just in there. Just hanging around. It's a good place to be. Just hanging around. They don't participate. They don't benefit nobody. They're just like a goldfish. So you got fish that you can use to eat. You got fish you can use for bait. But a goldfish you can't use for nothing but to look at it. Y'all help me, man. Come on, Pastor. You got a lot of people in the church that are just good for looking at it. They ain't no count for nothing else. They won't do nothing. They don't give nothing. They don't help nobody. You can't depend on them. They just better look at it. Along the way, life just brings all kinds of things out of us. But in our text today, very interesting thing dealing with the man of God. And I want you to know that just because you're saved, and I want to remind you of this, just because you're saved, just because your life has been changed, just because you've come to know the Lord, does not exempt you from life's problems. You're going to have problems. You're going to have some good days. But you're going to have a whole lot of bad ones.
All right.
And people need to know, just need to understand, that if you're going to be saved, if you're going to be a Christian, you got to be committed. Because it ain't going to always taste good. It ain't always feel good. Honey, it ain't going to always be good. But you got to be committed. I tell people when they come into the office for marriage counseling, one of the first things I ask them is, how are you on being committed? How's your values of commitment? Because if you don't have no values of commitment, ain't nothing to talk about. We can just end this session. All right. You don't know how to be committed. Because when they come in there, you know the young boys, like, what you want to marry her for? Oh man, she's so fine.
Ain't enough. Ain't enough.
Ooh, she just looking good.
Ain't enough.
And they go on with all of that. And I said, well, this ain't gonna last long.
All right.
See, everybody doesn't age gracefully. Everybody can be looking pretty like Sister Miller at her age. I know some people I went to school with look worse than Sister Miller. They look older than she do. At my age. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And if all you here for, you want to marry her because of how she look, things gonna change. But baby number one come and baby number two, it's gonna change. And then she said they're looking at him and all the muscle, the biceps and triceps turn into loceps. Everything turned down. Somebody asked me, they said, why when you start getting old, does your whole body start turning down? I said, because it's pointing to you, letting you know where you're going. You're on the way to that hole out there, Union Cemetery. Y'all not putting me. Your body telling you where you're going. And I tell you, y'all spending all that money. Listen, and it's nice to look good, but I want you to know with all them good looks you got, when your day comes and that number roll up, you and all your good looks is on your way out yonder. Somebody ought to say something here, y'all. You're not exempt from life. Paul, after having been in a storm, he was a man of God, and And he had been changed and had had a conversion and had an encounter with God. God made a different man out of him and changed him so till he even gave him a new name. He changed his name from Saul to Paul. And even after having a close, intimate, and personal relationship with God, he wound up in a storm. I want to talk to somebody today that's in a storm.
Come on.
And I want you to know that storms will come.
Yes.
It don't make no difference how pretty the ocean looks. You can look out there on the ocean and it looks so peaceful and calm and tranquil. And depending upon where you are later on that same day, a storm can rise up on that same peaceful, tranquil water and toss you from side to side. Looking at the news the other day, a big, huge cruise liner got stranded off the coast of Norway. And as big as I think it was 8 stories high. And the wind and the waves was about to turn that big boat over.
Whoa.
Peaceful waters can turn into tragic waves. Life is just like that. That's why when you get up in the morning, you got to get up thanking God for the day. And asking him for his blessings for the day. Because you don't know what storms this day holds in for your life. He found himself in a storm. He was on a boat, and God had sent an angel to tell him, no matter how severe this storm gets, stay on the boat. That's what the Lord told him. Now, this is a whole different message, Sister Peggy. But what happens when the only thing that God gave you to hold on to starts to fall apart in your hand? Now, people will question you. You know, because people live more carnal than they do spiritual. When you have made up your mind to do right and to live right, people will question you when storms rage in your life. Amen. People will question Brother Paul. You said the Lord told you to stay on the ship. Yes. Now, the thing you claim the Lord told you to stay on done fell apart. What happens now? You see, people who don't have faith will sometimes challenge your faith.
Yes. Amen.
And if you're not careful, people that have no faith will cause you to lose yours. And that's why the scripture said for us to come out from among them. And I know y'all been saying it, that means you've been interpreting that means people that are unsaved. No, there's a whole lot of people that are saved you need to come out from among them.
Yeah.
A whole lot of folk speaking in tongues you need to separate yourself from. Dressing up and shouting and messing up all at the same time. You need to separate yourself from them kind. And so God told him to hold on, stay there with the ship. The ship fell apart. Now he's drifting on pieces. And honey, if all you got left is a piece of what God told you to hold on to, then hold on to that piece.
That's right.
It don't take much for God to work. Somebody said little becomes much when you place it in the master's hand.
Yes.
Paul held on to the piece of the boat. And after arriving on the shore, chapter 28 begins, he said when they were rescued, then they knew where they were. Sometimes you can be in a storm, and it's so severe, you don't even know where you're at. Somebody don't talk to me. Have you ever been in some trouble, and you wake up the next morning and don't even know what day it is?
Amen.
I had a lady tell me she went to sleep on Wednesday, And when she woke up, it was Saturday. She don't even know what happened to them days in between. And I laughed at her, but when I got older, it come to me. I said, sometimes you can just have some problems and it'll mess you all up. You'll think yesterday was one day and it was another day.
That's right.
They didn't even know where they were. And they got out of the water. Been in the storm and they were wet and they were troubled and they were discouraged, disgusted. Somewhere, but didn't even know where that is. They were wet and cold and they were hungry. So they go and gather some sticks to make a fire. This is the preacher. Now you got to be careful. Just because a person has a whole lot of what we call bad luck does not mean that God ain't with them.
Amen.
We knew a whole lot of old folk that didn't have a whole lot of material and physical substance, but they had a whole lot of Jesus. Just because you have a lot of worldly goods does not mean God is with you. And it don't always mean that God is for you. Paul didn't have a whole lot, but he had the Lord on his side. He went to gather these sticks, make a fire, and out of the wood came a viper.
Yes.
And the snake bit him. Now let me tell you how bad the devil is. The devil is so bad in his attempt to scare you and throw you off. Instead of just biting like a snake does and roll off, the snake bit the preacher, latched on to him, and wrapped itself around his hand. Isn't that something?
Yes.
How the devil know his venom wasn't enough. But he had to portray a picture to try to scare the preacher to give up his faith in God.
Yes.
Some of y'all, the reason why the devil won't leave you alone, and it seems like he just done latched himself on to you.
Come on.
And the more you pray, the tighter he gets his grip.
Come on.
The more you fast, the tighter he grips you.
Yes.
The more you stay in your word, the tighter he grips you.
Yes.
And the reason why the devil is giving you such a hard way to go is because he's trying to get you to give up on your faith in God.
Yes.
Because he knows that your faith is the only thing that's holding you together. Oh yes, because he knows the word when you don't know the word.
Yes.
And he knows that in the book it said, without faith, it's impossible to please God.
Yes.
So if he can get you to give up on your faith,
well,
then everything he wants to happen to you is possible to happen. But as long as you stay under the umbrella of faith,
yes,
ain't nothing the devil can do to you.
Well,
the preacher, knowing the word of God, knowing the character of God,
yes,
knowing the power of God,
yes,
didn't even trip on the devil. You got to get so close to God,
yes,
and become so confident in his word,
yes,
until no matter what the devil do,
no matter,
you don't even trip about it. You just ignore whatever he's doing.
yes.
So you know what the word said. What did the word say, preacher? The word said, if God be for us,
Well,
he's more than the world against us.
yes.
Ain't that all right?
All right.
Preacher with the word in his heart,
Yes.
and the spirit in his soul,
Yes.
shook the devil off. And not only did he shake him off, but he shook him off and flung him right in where he come from.
All right.
Shook him off in the fire.
Yes.
That's what you got to do to the devil
Yes.
when he comes messing messing with you.
Yes.
Shake him off in the fire. What fire are you talking about? I'm talking about Holy Ghost fire.
Yeah.
How many of y'all know about that fire?